watching the News at 6 with me, Shan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories, and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Supreme Court comes down harsh on both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, asks state governments to maintain law and order as the unrest over the Kaveri water sharing continues. In the first major political fallout of the unrest in Kashmir, senior PDP leader and Srinagar MP Tariq Ahmad Kara resigns from all posts, says the Mehbooba Mufti government has failed to deal with the crisis. Samajwadi Party leaders step up to put up a united front and dismiss talks of feud within party. Ram Gopal Yadav backs Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav but says Mulayam's word is final. And the Delhi government and the centre pushed aside their differences in the fight against vector-borne diseases, even as chikungunya claims one more life in the national capital, taking the toll to 12. Our top story this evening, a massive rail roko agitation was called by pro-Kannada activists in Karnataka today. Over 1 lakh activists threatened to disrupt rail services across different districts of the state, but heavy police deployment thwarted their attempts. A number of agitators were also detained. A similar agitation has been called in Tamil Nadu tomorrow to condemn the violence against Tamils in Karnataka. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has asked both the state governments to ensure that law and order is maintained.
There was massive security deployment at railway stations across South Karnataka on Thursday in the wake of the rail roko agitation called by pro-Kannada activists. The state police managed to prevent rail blockades called by over 1 lakh activists of the Karnataka Rakshana Vedike to protest against the Supreme Court order on Kaveri water sharing.
Rail roko is announced by certain organizations in connection with the Kaveri water issue. Throughout the state, within the city, we have deployed city police, state reserve police and paramilitary forces adequately at all the railway stations. At the same time, police presence is continued throughout the city in view of the land order incidents that took place on Monday.
Additional forces were deployed in sensitive areas like Mandya, Yashwantpur, Mysuru, Hubli and Raichur. In Bengaluru, hundreds of activists took out a protest rally against governments of both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. A number of them were detained as they tried to break the heavy security cordon to enter the main railway station in the city. Among those detained include Kannada Federation President Vatal Nagaraj, Kannada Rakshana Vedike convener Praveen Shetty and Karnataka Film Chamber of Commerce President Sara Govindu.
Idi Karnataka Sarkara, police force haki ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಡೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಾದ್ಯಂತ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನ ಬಂಧಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಾದ್ಯಂತ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬಂದ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಒಕ್ಕೂಟ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬಂದ್ ಕರೀತೇವೆ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Several protesters were also detained at Shivamogga, Hubli, Mysuru and Dharwad to prevent them from entering railway stations. As protests against the order continue across Karnataka, the Apex Court on Thursday directed both Karnataka and Tamil Nadu to maintain law and order. It asked both state governments to ensure there was no violence and destruction of property in both states over Kaveri water sharing. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In a major setback for the ruling People's Democratic Party government in Jammu and Kashmir, one of its founding members and Member of Parliament, Tariq Ahmad Kara, has resigned from the party in Parliament. Meanwhile, heavy deployment of security forces has been done by authorities in Srinagar and other places of the valley to maintain law and order. Till now, 80 people have died and over 10,000 injured in clashes with security forces since the 9th of July, following the killing of Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist Burhan Wani.
In the major fallout of the ongoing Kashmir unrest, senior PDP MP from Srinagar, Tariq Ahmad Kara, on Thursday resigned from the party and the Lok Sabha. Kara resigned citing the failure of the Mehbooba Mufti government to deal with ongoing unrest in the state. He was always opposed to the idea of a PDP-BJP alliance in the state. Karra was the finance minister in the PDP government led by Mufti Muhammad Said in 2002.
I have for the moment resigned from the primary membership of People's Democratic Party and from the membership of Parliament. I will have to consult the people as well as my workers, and I will take a decision later on. I have been consistently for the last 16 months, it is not only last 2 months, consistently for last 16 months requesting and warning entire PDP leadership for the dire consequences of this RSS-backed BJP.
Earlier on Wednesday, India had raised the issue of Balochistan for the first time before the 33rd session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. India accused Pakistan of widespread human rights violations in the region as well as in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It also called Pakistan a hub for the global export of terror.
The entire Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. And what remains actually is the vacation of that illegal territory occupied by Pakistan. Also, the use of phrase Indian administered Kashmir is artificial one.
Meanwhile, curfew was imposed in Rajouri district after members of two communities indulged in stone pelting following communal tension in the town. Restrictions were also imposed in all parts of the valley except the civil lines area of Srinagar city to maintain law and order. Security forces were deployed at vulnerable places even as aerial surveillance using drones and helicopters continues. This is the 69th consecutive day of unrest in the valley. Separatists continue their protest shutdown, affecting public transport, main markets and other businesses. All schools, colleges and universities remain shut. Train services between Baramulla town and Banihal town also remain suspended. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Amid the raging feud in the ruling Yadav family of Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav has come out and backed Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav. However, both Ram Gopal and Shivpal, who was made state unit chief leading to this controversy, have denied any internal rift. They say the party president Mulayam Singh Yadav's word will be the final on every matter.
Samajwadi Party National General Secretary and Mulayam Singh Yadav's cousin Ram Gopal Yadav met Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav on Thursday in a bid to defuse the crisis within the party. The internal strife in the Yadav family came to the fore after Chief Minister stripped his uncle and Cabinet Minister Shivpal Yadav of key ministerial portfolios on Wednesday, just hours after Mulayam replaced him with Shivpal as the party's state unit chief. Ram Gopal admitted Mulayam's decision was a hasty one.
जब मुख्यमंत्री अध्यक्ष थे तो मुख्यमंत्री से ये कहा जा सकता था कि आप अध्यक्ष से इस्तीफा दे दें। वो मना ही नेताजी कहते तो मना कर देते कोई। उनसे बात भी की नेताजी ने, लेकिन उनसे ये नहीं कहा कि तुम इस्तीफा देना।
Another party leader and Rajya Sabha MP Naresh Agarwal threw his weight behind Akhilesh, saying he will be the party's chief ministerial face for the forthcoming assembly polls too.
कोई चीज असामान्य नहीं होगी। नेताजी अखिलेश यादव जी के नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़ा जाएगा और हम सब चुनाव मैदान में निकल पड़े हैं और 1 अक्टूबर को मुख्यमंत्री जी का चुनाव श्री गणेश हरदोई से हो रहा है।
Shivpal Yadav meanwhile has denied any internal rift within the family or the party.
नेताजी के फैसले को कोई चैलेंज भी नहीं कर सकता है। 2011 में हम प्रदेश अध्यक्ष थे, तब भी इसी तरीके से मुझे हटा करके अखिलेश को बनाया गया था। मैंने स्वीकार किया था।
Party chief Mulayam is expected to reach Lucknow and make another effort to resolve the crisis on Friday. Vishal Dahiya, Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's go across to our correspondent Vishal there for more on the story. Vishal, while in media the statements might seem that the family is together, but this rift really has revealed the fault lines within the ruling family of Uttar Pradesh, if we may call that.
Well, yes, clearly, it was for long, it was considered only, source-based issues and statements, which might be coming in from players in the party which were not at the top level, and those were the basis of deciding as to who is on whose side as far as the first family, that's the Yadav family in Uttar Pradesh is concerned. But in the last 48 hours, these statements coming in from the top leaders themselves and the actions made by them in the past few days is a clear indication that there is nothing which is going as per the script within the Yadav family as well as the government and the party itself, the ruling party itself. Now, today's developments can be seen in the perspective that Ram Gopal Yadav is considered as being close to Akhilesh. And this was pretty evident in 2012 also when Akhilesh was being made the chief minister. And Shivpal's statement today is also a clear indication, sort of trying to send a message that in 2011 I had vacated this post for Akhilesh Yadav, who then went on to become the chief minister. So why such a trouble being created now that I am being asked to take over? A clear indication that he should be projected as the next chief minister or the chief ministerial candidate of Samajwadi Party. But the statement which came in from Ram Gopal and Naresh Agarwal gives a different picture of the story. Clear indication that starting from 1st of October, the campaign which will be launched by Akhilesh Yadav for the assembly polls will sort of project him again as party's chief ministerial face for 2017 electoral battle. And a major decision will be taken by Mulayam Singh Yadav. That's what the sources are telling us. Tomorrow, that's Friday, although there are no clear indications as of now that the parliamentary board of the party has been convened, since Shivpal Yadav himself is the convener of that parliamentary board, and he so far refused any such meeting being held on Friday. But Mulayam Singh Yadav, the national president and the topmost leader of the party, will be going to Lucknow tomorrow, and it's expected that he might have a meeting with his son and chief minister Akhilesh Yadav to try and broker peace between both sides. So one more day to go to see as to exactly what will happen in this family saga now.
All right, Vishal, but how the camps really stacking up? I mean, you just mentioned the fact that Akhilesh Yadav has received support from Naresh Agarwal and from his other uncle Ram Gopal. But as far as Shivpal is concerned, who are backing him?
Well, as far as Shivpal is concerned, there is, it's quite a well-known fact that Shivpal Yadav and Amar Singh, another, strong leader of the party, and once again a new re-entrant in the party, and Rajya Sabha MP as well, are very close to each other. And the party which was thrown by the Samajwadi Party leader Amar Singh just a few days ago at his residence, that was attended by everyone except Akhilesh Yadav. A clear indication that Akhilesh doesn't see eye to eye with Amar Singh as of now. It all started, this entire controversy started a day after that party was held by Amar Singh. So clearly those allegations also coming in from Akhilesh Yadav are sort of hinting at Amar Singh when he says that the interference of outsiders is what has led to this entire crisis.
All right, we'll have to wait and watch then till tomorrow what Mulayam Singh Yadav does in Lucknow. Meanwhile, Vishal will keep a track of the story for us. Thanks so much for joining us for now. Now, moving on, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi reached Allahabad on Thursday as part of his month-long Kisan Yatra in Uttar Pradesh. Rahul Gandhi held a 4-kilometer-long roadshow in Allahabad, where he continued to direct his barbs at Prime Minister Narendra Modi and UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav. The Congress leader later held a Khat Sabha in Kaushambi, after which he will head over to Chitrakoot. He'll cover as many as 233 assembly constituencies during his Yatra to reach out to people ahead of the crucial assembly polls in UP slated early next year.
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी लोगों के भरोसे से खेल रहे हैं। पिछले 2 साल में उन्होंने 1,10,000 करोड़ रुपए कर्जा माफ किया। हिंदुस्तान के 10-15 सबसे अमीर लोगों का उन्होंने कर्जा माफ किया। और जो हमारे युवा हैं, जो छोटा बिजनेस चलाना चाहते हैं, जो हमारे दुकानदार हैं, जो हमारे किसान हैं, उनको नरेंद्र मोदी जी भूल गए।
Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome to this episode of Eureka.
This institute is more than about 60 years old. So this is the first institute probably in the world to give the concept of oral vaccine. So on cholera and leishmania, this institute is worldwide known. Jawaharlal Nehru, many of them actually inspired that there should be an institute like that, which is striving for understanding the parasite biology and major epidemics in the country and develop the drugs for that.
Watch Eureka with Professor Samit Chattopadhyay, Director CSIR IICB Kolkata, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, finally, rising above the political vendetta, Delhi government and the centre have joined hands to fight against the viral outbreak in Delhi NCR. This after the death toll from dengue and chikungunya rose to 30 today.
The death toll continues to rise due to sudden surge of vector-borne diseases in the national capital. At least 1,158 cases of dengue have been reported so far, with nearly 390 of them being recorded in the first 10 days of September.
एमसीडी को कहा गया है कि अगले आने वाले 2 दिन के अंदर जितनी भी कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट्स हैं सभी को चेक किया जाए और जहां पर अगर पानी भरा हुआ है तो उसको साफ कराया जाए और उनके चालान भी किए जाएं। उसके अलावा हमने सभी अस्पतालों में कहा है कि जो भी पेशेंट आ रहे हैं उनके लिए आप पानी का जो ओआरएस के घोल रखें सभी अस्पतालों के अंदर, ताकि जो भी पेशेंट आता है या उनके अटेंडेंट आते हैं उनको डिहाइड्रेशन ना हो। हमने सभी अस्पतालों के अंदर डॉक्टर्स की छुट्टी कैंसिल करने का ऑर्डर दे दिया है। डॉक्टर्स की, स्टाफ की, सभी की छुट्टियां कैंसिल कर दी जाए आने वाले 1-2 महीने के लिए, जब तक की सिचुएशन बिल्कुल ठीक ना हो जाए।
The Union Health Ministry and the Delhi government have asked MCD and civic bodies to compile a detailed report on the deaths due to chikungunya and dengue. Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung has also asked the Delhi government and civic bodies to mount full efforts to tide over the growing incidences.
शुरुआत से तो हमारे वर्कर, डीबीसी वर्कर और फील्ड वर्कर्स काम कर ही रहे थे। फॉगिंग का जो रोल होता है वो थोड़ा लेट आता है और फॉगिंग मेडिकल एक्सपर्ट्स एडवाइस भी नहीं करते हैं कि आप जून जुलाई में फॉगिंग करें। लास्ट ईयर भी हमने अगस्त के एंड में फॉगिंग शुरू करी थी, तो उस हिसाब से ये लेट नहीं है।
हमने पूरे निगम को, हर पार्षद को फॉगिंग के लिए सभी अस्पतालों में अपने वॉलंटियर्स को, पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं को, सबको हमने भेजा है कि इस समय मिल करके दिल्ली बीमार है, दिल्ली में अगर लोग पीड़ित हैं और उनको अगर समस्याओं से समाधान कराना है तो हम सबको मिलकर के काम करना होगा।
So far, over 40,000 people across the country have been affected by dengue, chikungunya and other vector-borne diseases, with at least 60 deaths reported so far. 5,000 cases each have been reported from West Bengal, Odisha and Kerala, while West Bengal has reported 5,129 dengue cases and 22 deaths. The disease has affected 5,183 people and claimed 9 lives in Odisha.
The 3-tier surveillance we are doing in Kolkata, and that is why we have ensured that community clustering cannot be happen. If any person can be suffering from dengue, but that cannot be spread in that area. That is why our foremost duty to kill the adult mosquito, and we are doing very well to kill the adult mosquito. Till today, we are not getting any information about the community clustering towards the Kolkata.
उड़ीसा में अभी हम देख रहे हैं फॉर लास्ट 7-8 इयर्स उड़ीसा में अभी डेंगू रेगुलरली एवरी ईयर ये जो सीजन है उस टाइम पे होता है। इस साल में मैक्सिमम आप देखिए बॉडबिल जो केउंझर एरिया है वहाँ पे मैक्सिमम हुआ है। उसके बाद में कोटक में जो जगतपुर इंडस्ट्रियल बेल्ट है वहाँ पे हुआ है।
As the number of deaths in Delhi from chikungunya and its complications are on the rise, Health experts say the sudden surge this year could be the result of evolution of the viral strain. The number of chikungunya cases in the national capital have climbed to over 1,700 this season, and at least 12 deaths have been reported due to the disease till now. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, all 29 people on board the Indian Air Force transport aircraft AN-32 that went missing off the coast of Chennai on the 22nd of July have been presumed dead officially. The families of those on board the missing aircraft have been informed, even as the search operations for the ill-fated aircraft continue. The families were given the information so that they could proceed with insurance and other administrative formalities. The AN-32 aircraft had vanished over the sea soon after it took off from Chennai for Port Blair. The plane did not have an underwater locator system, which has made the search difficult. Some more national news stories now nationwide. Minister of External Affairs, Sushma Swaraj on Thursday said that the two Indian teachers who were abducted in Libya last year have been rescued. Both the teachers, along with two other colleagues, were kidnapped in July 2015 by a group in Libya which owes its allegiance to the Islamic State. The other two teachers were rescued just days after the kidnapping. The Supreme Court on Thursday asked Parsanat developers to deposit 12 crore rupees with the court's registry in 4 weeks. The court's order comes in a case where the real estate developer appealed against a consumer forum ruling on compensating home buyers who were not delivered their flats yet. The top court has also asked the buyers that whether they would accept rent and interest for the money given by them to book their flats. A fire broke out on the 32nd floor of the Hiranandani Tower in Mumbai's Kandivali area. No one is injured. Thick smoke could be seen rising from the residential high-rise. 8 fire engines were rushed to the spot. 2 ambulances and water tankers had reached the site as well. The Supreme Court on Thursday reduced the death penalty of the convict in the Soumya rape and murder case to a 7-year jail term. The convict was earlier given capital punishment by the lower courts. He's been let off on murder charges, but his conviction for rape has been upheld. 24-year-old Soumya was raped by Govindachamy and pushed out of a running passenger train in 2011. Now, Friday may prove to be a make-or-break visit by Nepalese Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda as he engages in talks with Prime Minister Modi for bilateral development cooperation between the two countries. There are expectations that the two will sign documents relating to Nepal's development needs and security issues, including terrorism. Now, this is the first foreign visit of Nepal's new Prime Minister after he took the oath of office last month. Prime Minister Modi is expected to ask about Nepal's priorities and how India can help the landlocked country in the coming years.
Idea is for us to meet Mr. Prachand, to convey to him our continued interest in the stability and peace and prosperity of Nepal, and to learn from him firsthand what are his developmental priorities, which are the areas he wants to focus on, and where Indian assistance can provide the maximum benefit to the people and government of Nepal.
Vice President Mohammad Awad Ansari has embarked on a visit to Venezuela to attend the 17th NAM summit. With Prime Minister Narendra Modi giving the summit a miss, he will be representing the country. The summit, which started on the 13th of September, will end on the 18th of September and is taking place in Venezuela's Margarita Island. Meetings are scheduled in 3 consecutive segments: meeting of senior officials, foreign ministers meeting and a conference of the heads of state and government. The non-aligned movement summit is expected to bring together leaders from the 120 developing countries that are its members. International delegations arrived for the summit on Wednesday. News from Pakistan now. At least 6 people were killed and over 150 injured after a Karachi-bound express train collided with a stationary freight train near Multan early this morning. 4 carriages were overturned due to the collision, with many people trapped inside. There was a delay in the emergency response due to Eid holidays. However, Pakistani army helped in the rescue operations. Officials have blamed the accident on the passenger train driver, saying he failed to heed a red signal that went up after the goods train had stopped. Now, the United States has signed an unprecedented new security arrangement with Israel that will give the Israeli military $38 billion over the next 10 years. The deal amounts to $3.8 $3.8 billion a year beginning with the budget year 2019. This is the largest such agreement the US has ever had with any country. After months of negotiations, the Memorandum of Understanding was signed at the State Department by Israel's National Security Advisor, Jacob Nagel, and Thomas Shannon, the third highest-ranking US diplomat. Obama's National Security Advisor, Susan Rice, who witnessed the signing, called it a sign of Washington's unshakable commitment to the security of the Jewish state. Nagel hailed the agreement as an indication of the rock-solid alliance between Israel and the United States.
ההסכם הזה ממחיש אמת פשוטה. היחסים בין ישראל לארצות הברית איתנים, עוצמתיים. אין זה אומר שאין בינינו מחלוקות מעת לעת, אבל אלו מחלוקות בתוך המשפחה. הן אינן משפיעות כהוא זה על הידידות הגדולה בין ישראל לארצות הברית.
This marks a significant increase over our existing funding, and it will ensure that Israel has the support it needs to defend itself by itself and to preserve its qualitative military edge. This is the single largest pledge of military assistance to any country in U.S. history. At a time when we're tightening our belts across the board, with the harmful sequestration spending cuts set to return in just a couple years, this MOU nonetheless greatly increases our military assistance commitment to Israel. And that's not an accident. It's a reminder of the United States' unshakable commitment to Israel's security.
Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. India Blue clinched the inaugural day-and-night Dilip Trophy cricket tournament with a massive 355-run victory over India Red. Gautam Gambhir-led India Blue set up a mammoth 517 runs target for the Reds, but the Yuvraj Singh-led side skittled out for just 161 in their second innings. Ravindra Jadeja finished with 10 wickets in the match. Pujara was named a player of the match for his unbeaten 256 in the first innings. The World Anti-Doping Agency said that another batch of athletes' data was leaked by the same Russian cyber espionage group that published confidential medical data earlier this week. The hackers released data of 25 athletes from the United States, Germany, Britain, Czech Republic, Denmark, Poland, Romania and Russia. However, WADA said that there was no suggestion that any athlete was guilty of any wrongdoing. Defending champions Real Madrid staged a dramatic late comeback to beat Sporting Lisbon 2-1 in their Champions League opener. Sporting took the lead through a low shot from Bruno Cesar, but Cristiano Ronaldo equalled in the 89th minute with a superb long-range free kick. Alvaro Morata then handed Madrid all the 3 points with a header in the 94th minute. Manchester City also started their Champions League campaign on a winning note with a 4-0 thrashing of Borussia Mönchengladbach. Sergio Aguero struck his second hat-trick of the season, with Ilancios also on target for City. EPL champions Leicester City also made a winning start with a 3-0 victory over Club Brugge. However, Tottenham lost their opening game with a 1-2 defeat against Monaco. That's all from us. Goodbye.